All right. My name is Hunter Brummel, and these are the issues faced in the publishing industry. The publishing industry as a whole has been around for thousands and thousands of years and has been extremely crucial in the development and distribution of knowledge across many countries across the globe. There are three major issues that I found that are currently impacting the publishing industry. Those issues are the lack of inclusion and diversity within the industry, the fear of AI taking jobs within the industry and how that will affect copyright, as well as the recent book bannings and how that impacts authors and publishers and the content they produce. The RWA and their lack of diversity. So who are the RWA? The RWA is the Romance Writers of America, and they have been around since 1980. They were founded by a black female author and editor, and I'll tell you why that's important later. And her name was Vivian L. Stevens, and her and a woman named Rita Stevens developed this group. In the beginning, they had a huge importance in their community. It was a place for like-minded authors within the romance industry to come together and bounce ideas off each other and create new and engaging content based off what they've learned. But quickly, unfortunately, that changed, and it turned, as Vivian Stevens is quoted saying, it turned into more of a social hangout rather than a productive group setting where they came to get stuff done. Unfortunately, this group has faced many controversies in the past 20 years or so. These controversies include, they include like things with racial bias, homophobic comments, as well as Nazi-related books and stuff as the sorts. In 2005, there was a poll sent out by the RWA to its members asking if romance should be defined as one man and one woman. This inevitably blew up in their face, and many of the members were extremely upset with this question and how it made the homosexual community feel. And then they did not apologize until 2016, when it was far too late for that. In 2015, the group, the RWA, nominated a book about a Jewish woman and a member of the Nazi Party back in World War II ended up falling in love at a concentration camp. And many people thought this was extremely distasteful and did not like that this is what the group was displaying as a nominated book or award-winning book, and felt that it should be more concentrated and more inclusive. Let's see here. Next slide. All right. How does lack of diversity affect how this affects the industry as a whole? Well, with lack of diversity, there's limited content created and a limited amount of perspectives shown from authors and publishers. It increases the amount of unrepresented groups within the industry, and people in minority groups that want to be resembled in the industry can no longer feel that way. Which kind of creates a gatekeep into the industry, because if they don't feel welcomed, then why would they join it in the first place or even write in that genre? All right, and our second issue is the fear of AI. AI has been impacting, or recently has shown impact in a lot of industries, and many people are fearful for their jobs being replaced, fearful of the industry as a whole being replaced, and overall negative connotations about AI, especially in the publishing industry. Because AI has the ability to edit, write, it can proofread, it can do cover designs for books, it can do audio narration, and much more. And all of those are jobs within the industry. So many people within the industry are fearful that if they can be easily replaced by AI, then companies will do that. And speaking of companies, there are 5 big companies that control about 80% of the U.S. book trade, or book trade as a whole. And of course, since they are public companies, they have the obligation to return profits to their investors, and so they will minimize costs and expenses in any way that they can. These 5 companies are probably, we use some of them in class: Penguin Random House, Hachette, HarperCollins, Macmillan, which I'm sure you've heard of, and Simon & Schuster. While AI could return profits to these companies, it will have a huge impact on the people that hold those jobs in that field, and there could be a potential of 50,000 jobs lost if those jobs were replaced by AI. So how will AI in the publishing industry affect copyright? Well, these advancements in technology bring up a lot of questions about copyright and plagiarism. AI uses large language models that determine what to write by learning from experiences with data written by humans. So it's programmed to use past or things from the past that were created and developed by humans to determine and how to make decisions and what to generate. As of now, authors are encouraged but not forced, unless there's a contract with the publishing company, to disclose of use of AI. And this can cause many problems because authors could easily lie, they could easily find another way, and then until it would create a unfair space for other authors. Some more effects continued. So the U.S. Copyright Office in 2023 began to look at this problem, late 2023, and have promised a 2-section report by this spring. One of the sections is already out. They are still developing the second section. So the 2 sections are digital replicas and copyrightability. So for digital replicas, it's for the use of digital replicas or use of AI to replicate people's appearances, voices, or any other part of their identity. And then copyrightability is focused on the training AI platforms on copyrighted works and licensing considerations. So to program the AIs to be able to follow along with copyright regulations and make sure they're within the law. The determination of this report can impact the future of publishing as a whole, as well as smaller writers and other people that are in the industry. And our last issue is the issue of book banning, which I'm sure many of you have heard. So book banning has, in many countries and for years and years, has been around forever, but it has become a problem in the U.S. industry in the past 5 or so years. Nearly 100 pending bills that restrict teachers' critical race theory or limit how K-12 teachers can discuss racism and sexism have been discussed about in these bills that have passed. A lot of these bills are modeled after Florida's commonly known as the Don't Say Gay Act. They're ban on a lot of books. Some implication of this is that many public libraries have been defunded. In Missouri, the State House of Representatives voted to defund all the state's public libraries in a reaction to the litigation filed on behalf of the Missouri Association of School Librarians. The lawsuit is to fight back against the state bill that resulted in over 300 books being banned from school libraries, which is just a decrease in information that is available to these students. Book banning impacts a lot more than just publishers and authors, but it does have a huge impact on them. The impact on authors is that they are fearful of what they write and if it's even able to get published in certain states. If their content is too controversial or doesn't follow along with state laws, then it could be banned and they would not gain any profit off that. Same goes for publishers. They're fearful of taking on any controversial, per se, authors, and it really will limit the amount of content creation and the diversity within the content. There's an impact on educators, of course. Many educators have reached out to publishing companies to ask about the content within the book to ensure that they fit into new state requirements about critical race theory and other topics. Many book bans are directed at the LGBTQ community. An author named Ian Hansel discussed that a book with a cover of two men hugging was deemed sexually explicit by ebook distributors. However, that exact same book with a different cover was deemed acceptable. So it really shows that the content within can matter, but not as much as how it looks on the outside. And as well, it of course has an impact on minority groups like the LGBTQ community. And with this impact can make plays across the entire industry. Thank y'all for your time.